Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
What is on your mind, Cayman? If you are ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Good afternoon and welcome, and thank you so much for joining us on another fantastic Friday's edition of Talk Today. Quick reminder, 1 p.m. there is a press briefing schedule. We're going to bring that to you live. We can tell you where else you can find it, but you can listen to it here, always on Radio Cayman. It's going to be some open line until then, 949-8037, 949-6990. Want to speak with you, have a chance to talk, chat, understand where you are, make sure, as bad as it is, we're still feeling pretty good. So stay tuned, join us, be a part of the discussion.
Talk Today is reminding you.
Avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Email Talk Today at candw.ky. Let your voice be heard.
And now, back to Sterling Dwayne Ebanks, Radio Cayman Talk Today.
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us, and we invite you to give us a call, share your thoughts, 949-8037, 949-6990. You can WhatsApp call 925-32621. We're recognizing that many of you had, after the all clear was issued around midday, 1 o'clock yesterday, you had some time on your hands to go and properly assess your properties and your businesses, those areas that are of concern to you. Probably even took a drive out and said, cleanup was quick, it wasn't too bad, and we give thanks. But there's still a lot that you want to do, and we will share that as we look back on, the ensuing 36 hours or thereabouts and a few days of preparations, that we use this as a sort of training, warm-up exercise. Not become complacent, not become, in that space where we are beaten, but also be mindful to check in, with yourselves and check in with each other. Check on your friends and your family, your parents, your siblings, your neighbors, just to make sure that they're feeling okay. There may be no noticeable signs of injury or damage to property or anything, but how are they feeling mentally, socially? They might not even be aware that there's a little bit of angst. They might not be aware that they're feeling a little something. Just check on them, invite them over for a meal, maybe sit and have a chat. Just reconnect. So share with us, where are you in your plans right now? Any suggestions or thoughts you might have that could not only allow our country and its people to prepare more safely, perhaps more efficiently, effectively, and adequately for any impending storms or natural disasters, but what about in the recovery? There was a fine gentleman yesterday who made a suggestion about, the way government could go about providing hurricane shutters and the like, as opposed to the process that is done now. A number of people called or messaged to say it was a great idea. A number after shared likewise, and some thought that would do a number of things. As much as we might think the politicians might like the idea that, and probably some do, we won't say that they do or they don't, having some input in the distribution of hurricane shutters and supplies or the like, because it gives them, a connection, to their constituents. Perhaps if that's something that is done in such a way that happens, it takes away any sort of perception of favoritism. It's just objective. It's something that is done in a manner that allows people to have access. It might make it not only run more smoothly, it might actually make it run in such a way that it serves the needs of those. It dispels any concerns that some may have that perhaps at the end of the day, the supplies from the shutters, the plywood or the like, isn't necessarily being maintained, isn't being used in the way it is. It may even be, monetized and sold to others when not in need. Well, tell us where you are. Hey, 949-8037, 949-6990. Thanks again to all of the people who volunteered. Some who, even though it was a part of their jobs, they still stepped up. They went and presented themselves and were not only, very evidently involved, they were committed and dedicated and present. And then there are those, who allowed us to share with you as you listened and participated in the program, and we were glad to be a part of that. Hopefully it not only brought you timely information that was accurate and reliable, but we also perhaps even gave you a little bit of comfort, a little bit of an opportunity to be reminded that we are a community. I must share that it was very, very encouraging to continue to hear of the number of people who experienced a kindness that they hadn't seen in a long, long, long time. Some would say perhaps not, since the passage of Hurricane Ivan. The fact that we came out and we helped each other, from lifting an heavy object to preparing and moving things from around our yards, for making sure some of the things in the business, everybody comes in and does it, not expecting any extra pay. But also, I gather that employers have also said to the staff, it's maybe just words, but we're grateful that we didn't have to ask. Everybody came and did what they did, from putting in the offices the computers in the way that they have decided the computers should go, things off the floor, making things secure. And some employers, as a token gesture, may create a little bit of food and fun planned, a pizza party, as it were, if you were in school. Just something to thank staff, to acknowledge that we are impacted by this in every way, some of us more so than others. So that level of community is important. Maybe we can extend that to the larger offices, seeing the needs sometimes, maybe their businesses. As one fellow said that his company now is considering, seeing that a number of employees, even though they as individuals may have shelters or may have homes where they think it's relatively safe, the employers are saying, well, our spaces are here. Perhaps for those employees who want to come in, it could be a safe refuge that would complement the availability of shelter spaces. Now, there are many who are told that there could be liability issues, but perhaps it's something to consider. We have unused buildings and underused buildings. We wonder to what extent we could put them to better use for after-school programs or community meetings or community functions. Well, so too can any of our other office buildings or retail places that can be safely used to either house people, staff and family, or even supplies, so that the country has a built-in sense of a stronger, resilient, more robust response. 8949-8037, 949-6990. You can WhatsApp call 925-32621. At 1 p.m., we're told there's a scheduled press briefing. We will take it live here on Radio Cayman, but we'll also, after the break, tell you what other channels you can also listen to it or watch it on as you wish. So we're being informed, and in that information, as you hear things, you may have questions. You may or may not be able to have them answered then, but it's imperative that you are able to ask those questions emanating from what are political, elected or appointed leadership says and declares. So when we come back from this break, we want to invite you to be a part of our conversation. 949-8037, 949-6990. Very much interested to learn that you're doing well. How have you been impacted? What concerns you may have for yourselves or for your neighbors, your wider community, for the country. So give us a shout and share your thoughts.
It's game time, Subway fans. We're upping our sub game with the Subway Series menu, an all-star lineup of 6 delicious recipes. Just order by name or number and we'll do the rest. Whether you're catching a quick lunch or just need a tasty victory, the Subway Series menu is coming in clutch. Subway Series, easy to order, hard to resist. Try it today, only at Subway. Eat fresh.
Discover your dream home with Cayman National's home loan. Get up to 95% financing, repayment up to 40 years, and just a 0.5% commitment fee. Your interest rate? Depending on your risk factors, it'll be fixed or variable. Plus, you get a pre-approved credit card. This is a limited time offer. Dial 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
A caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
Prescription refills made easy at Savannah Pharmacy. WhatsApp your prescription refills to 929-5045.
The mission of the National Conservation Council and the Department of Environment has worked to protect and conserve the unique plants, animals, and habitats that make the Cayman Islands so special. Learn more at conservation.ky.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks for sharing with us. A quick reminder, 1 p.m. there'll be a press briefing. We'll take it to you here live on Radio Cayman, so you can just stay tuned and we'll have that brought straight to you where you are right now. But that's at 1 p.m. For now, it's some open line as we want you to be a part of our discussion. Give us a shout and see if our phones are working. Here, 949-837, 949-6990. You can WhatsApp call at 925-3261. We're very interested to make sure everybody's feeling well, mentally and physically. Any words of wisdom, advice you can share to the rest of us in relation to, maybe what, as we look into what transpired, what we can be doing now going forward. We've been, for many of us, through many storms. We've always been, hopefully, and will continue to be, a prayerful nation. But the scripture reminds us, faith without works is dead. So as we pray, we got to prepare. We should be positive, but it doesn't mean that some people are not precluded from being so pensive that they get weighed down in their thoughts, and all of a sudden, they feel overwhelmed. Let's take this call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Dwayne.
Hey, how are you today, man?
I'm good. Thanks for the tireless work that you have done during the course of the storm.
Thanks, man. But we are a team here, and hopefully together we can make it better, right?
Yeah. Dwayne, there's one thing I have that came to my attention.
Uh-huh.
I visited a couple of these shelters, right? And what I noticed, they didn't have any mats or, those gym mats and stuff like that
Right.
for anybody to sleep on. And that didn't sit well with me. I mean, people gonna bring their blankets and stuff, but suppose a storm take like 3 days to 3 days and 3 nights to pass over.
Mm-hmm.
People need to sleep, right?
Most people, yeah, should do that, yeah.
Right, and they don't have nothing like that. It's like I just see the naked floor and some benches. I said, so suppose I question it. So suppose people need to sleep. Well, they have to bring their own. How many people can bring sleeping bags and bunks and stuff like that? Not many in a preparation for the storm.
So you're thinking that in the shelters, then they should have those mats, cots, sleeping bags, whatever, for people to come, or should it be unreasonable not to expect them to bring their own?
They should have them stored in case people can't afford it. Not everybody can afford to bring sleeping equipment.
Mm-hmm. But even if they can afford it, can they find it?
Some of the people gonna be walking. So how much can a person bring along with them?
Yeah. Something to consider. I mean, some here and you might think that's a great idea. Some would say, well, that's another added expense on government. Some would say, wait a minute now, you want government to do everything. But your point is that maybe nobody really thought about it sufficiently to determine what is the best course of action, right?
Well, I tell you what, if government can do for the refugees, why they can't do for their own people?
Another point of view that could raise some needed discussion. How did you find the shelters in terms of capacity, the cleanliness of the place, the freedom to move about the space?
That was up to par, Dwayne. I must applaud those people. That was up to par.
Yeah, man. That
was up to par. Because I went to Red Cross and they had those little foldaway things that you can sleep on.
Okay.
So I mean, government can afford the mats and have a place to store them in case of people don't have anywhere to sit. Because people have to sleep.
It's something that if you go to one place, like as you said, the Red Cross, they might have all the provisions and supplies, but another space might not have it. So consistency, then everybody has it. Maybe it's maintained. If you can hold 100 people, you have accommodation for 100 people, sleeping mats or cots or what is for 100 people. Is that what you're sharing?
Yes, Dwayne, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay. And then
that's the only thing that I saw missing with the government shelters. They need to have those little mats stored because people can't be sleeping on a cold tile floor. I wouldn't sleep on a cold tile floor for 3 days or 2 days or one night. Or
yeah. It's
I can't do that.
Yeah, for some people it may be not just uncomfortable but physically impossible because of their health and the like.
All of that trauma with the storm and this and that.
Right.
You can't sleep. Anyway, I leave it with that. So I just putting that out there for people to.
Well, I appreciate it, and I don't think anybody should take what you shared in any way other than a suggestion that's worth considering. You're not trying to, badmouth anybody, as they say. You're not being derogatory. You're just making an observation, right? So,
exactly.
It might be that we have a partnership, as funds and supported, by one group and another, and we find another way. So, hey, thanks, man. Anything else you thought that, or even if you don't know about going forward, post analysis. What can we do?
That was it. That was it. I applaud you and Mr. Osikon and all the staff for outstanding job that they did. Keeping up to date and things. So,
you're most welcome.
That's it.
Thank you, and glad to know that you made it through and everybody did, and stay safe, and as you go about in the recovery effort, moving about, just be mindful. Things might happen after the fact, but hey, thank you for what you do, and take good care of yourself. All right. And like the caller shared, and this is an opportunity. If you heard his voice and his heart, he was, very, very respectful. He's given a considered perspective and a suggestion that may have greater merit than some of us might admit. Some of us might say, I never even thought about that. Maybe we assumed, I thought that's what it would be everywhere. Well, is it something that can work? Is it something that would, should be a part of the whole process? take his last point that people may be walking there, whether that's at the, at the height of the storm where they're trying to escape. Maybe it's in a panic mode, or maybe for whatever reason they can't get there. They're taking what they have to take. Now, we're going to emphasize, if you're going to go to a shelter or a shelter at any space, do that in a planned way. Do that, long beforehand, so that when you get there, it's not a last minute rushed, potentially, greater risk of injury, because you do that then, do it beforehand. But you may not be able to take these things physically with you. You might not be able to financially afford it. But what if you can, but you can't access because there's no place that has it? Maybe you just can't get it in time. I liken that to sometimes people would want to go places. They want to go camping, for instance, but they can't find their camping supplies because, well, they didn't think to buy them long before, or they may have had them, and then when they realize the tent is a little torn, the rod is a little bit bent, different things. So with that in mind, if you have, whether it's your hurricane shutters, whether they're metal or wood, or you have other things in preparation for the storms, here's a good time now to go through your own plans. See what you have, what else you need. There might be actually some things you don't need. I'll joke and say, if you looked at my hurricane supplies and you see the stash of chocolate, you go, you don't need all of that. Well, actually, the chocolate and the beans and the lentils and chickpeas, the rest of the stuff I don't need, but the chocolate will be there. For some people, there may be other things, but this might be an opportunity to say, well, you don't need all this. You may only need half of this amount, or you may want to complement it with this. You look at your sleeping bag, for instance. You may look at particular towels or larger, similar items. Do you have any of them? Do you need more of them? What else would you need? I'll share with you. I had a chance to chat with him just yet properly, but he said that they didn't do it this time. They had during Ivan, because they were, for whatever reason, felt that it was better, but they will do it again. They would, as a group, instead of sheltering in their respective homes, they'll do what they did in Ivan and come together and stay together, because luckily and thankfully in this time there wasn't any need to have an extra pair of hands, but it was so evident and necessary during Ivan to hold a door closed to quickly move something when the water came in. That extra pair of hands was very, very helpful and essential. Sometimes, so maybe that's a consideration that you want, not to make it a lime, you're into a fete, into a party, but you're coming together. You got extra people in the house who are there to help each other. 949-8037, 949-6990. You can WhatsApp call 925-3261. We'll pause in a second, take the break. 1 o'clock, there is a press briefing schedule. If it starts on time, we'll take it when it starts. But we want to hear from you. As that caller just shared, grateful to his input. You may have, a similar suggestion, something that you observed that you said, hey, that's good. We should, see if that can be, more common play. Maybe you saw it and go, well, I hope they don't do that again. Or there's something that isn't happening and you think that needs to happen. It could be the provision of something. It could be the actual installation of something. But we also want to know how you're doing physically and emotionally, because it's like you go fishing and you're on the boat for a few hours. Well, now, hopefully you got good sea legs, but many times you come back, you still feel, even though you're on dry land, you still feel like you're rocking a little bit because you've been on the boat for that long. Well, in this instance, you prepared for the storm, you were praying for the best, and it turned out that it wasn't too bad. But how are you feeling? Do you still feel a certain way? You're not quite sure. You don't ignore it. We want to make sure you're all is well. All right, when we come back, 949-8037, 949-6990, or WhatsApp call 925-3261. Stay tuned.
Find your dream car with a Cayman National Vehicle Loan. Enjoy 100% financing, up to 8-year repayment, and a 7% fixed interest rate for the first 5 years. For eco-friendly cars, we'll waive your commitment fee. This only applies to new vehicles Call 949-8300 or email lending@caymanational.com today.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet, because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Boddentown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Boddentown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Cybercrime happens online or through the technology we use every day. Anyone can be a victim of cybercrime, whether you are a young person being bullied or harassed online, or an older person or business who's been scammed out of money or personal data. Cybercrime is an issue that touches all of us. The Cayman Islands government has therefore created an online resource to help keep you cyber safe in an ever-changing world.
In online situations, it is better to be cyber safe than sorry. Learn now to protect yourself against cybercrime. Visit gov.ky/cybersafe.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. 949-8037 or 949-6990. Or you can WhatsApp call 925-3261. It's going to be a press briefing at 1 p.m. Just a quick reminder on behalf of the RCI, the police, you know, what are they doing? RCIPS, yeah. That's it. Some people say F, but it's S. It's a service. They're reminding people to remove their vehicles from the roadways. And it reads, police inform the public to remove their vehicles from the roadways